Article put up by the WLT report, written by Noah, published this morning. Title, Special Report. The FDA clears lab-grown meat for human consumption. Doesn't that sound yummy? Even just this headline gives me the creeps. No globalist, anti-human sickos. No, I do not want to eat lab-grown beef. I also do not want to eat the bugs. I'm not eating crickets. I'm not eating fake beef or fake chicken, which will probably give me cancer. Problem is, you won't know if it's fake. By a whole lot of people are about to get sucked in, and it's terrifying. FDA clears lab-grown meat for human consumption. Aren't they the same organization that cleared the shots? Breaking, FDA clears lab-grown meat for sale in the U.S. Avoid upside foods and good meat. U.S. approves chicken made from cultivated cells. The nation's first lab-grown chicken grown from animal cells, not from slaughtered birds, can now be sold in the U.S. The Agriculture Department issued approvals on Wednesday. Is this the same FDA that gave us myocarditis vaccine jabs? Right. Because they have good credibility. You eating this stuff? Not me. From the Hill, it's being called a watershed moment, and I'm sure it's just not a good one. The Food and Drug Administration on Wednesday announced it has cleared lab-grown meat product as safe for human consumption for the first time. In a news release, the agency said that after reviewing information from Upside Foods about food the company is making from cultured chicken cells, it has no further question at this time about the firm's safety conclusion. The agency noted that before Upside Foods, based in Berkeley, California, can bring its products to the market, the facility in which the food is made will have to meet inspection standards from the FDA, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the USDA, and the USDA Food Safety and Inspection Services. The world is experiencing a food revolution, and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration is committed to supporting innovation in the food supply. FDA Commissioner Robert Caloff and Director of FDA Center for Food Safety and Applied Nutrition, Susan Mayon, said in a joint statement. As an example of that commitment today, we're announcing that we have completed our first pre-market consultation of a human food made from cultured animal cells. In a separate statement, Upside Foods CEO and founder Uma Valeti expressed his excitement about the FDA safety clearance of his company's products, referring to it as a watershed moment. This is a watershed moment in the history of food, Valeti said. We started Upside amid a world of skeptics, and today we've made history again as the first company to receive no-question letter from the FDA for cultivated meat. This milestone marks a major step toward a new era in meat production, and I'm thrilled that the U.S. consumer will soon have a chance to eat delicious meat that's grown directly from animal cells. Gee, what could go wrong? Oh, and Bill Gates is involved. Does that surprise anyone? These people love playing God and thinking they can do things better than he did. Instead of eating the animals he gave us to eat as food, they continually try to recreate them in labs, Frankenstein-type stuff. But soon you'll be eating it, and you may not even know it, since no special labels are required. Here's the announcement from the Associated Press. Would you eat chicken meat made in a lab? Now you can. The U.S. approved its sale on Wednesday, allowing 2 California companies to offer lab-grown meat to restaurants and eventually supermarkets. Here's how it's made. Let's listen to this thing that's up on X. You can't make this shit up. This plays for 58 seconds.
The U.S. approved the sale of lab-grown meat made from animal cells for the first time. What is it? We spoke with a California company who creates it.
So cultivated meat, put really simply, is real meat that is grown from animal cells.
These cells can come from a biopsy of a living animal, a fertilized egg, or a special bank of stored cells. Companies choose the cells most likely to reproduce quickly. Then, they're placed in tanks in a bath of cell food designed to give them everything they need to grow. Inside these bioreactors, the cell can change into types we normally eat, including those that make muscle, connective tissue, and fat. And the cells multiply over and over and over. After several days or weeks, the meat is removed from the tanks to be shaped into cutlets, hot dogs, nuggets, and sausages. Then, it's ready to be cooked, served, and eaten.
So our first product will be chicken fillets, but we are working on an entire portfolio, first of chicken, and then following that will be beef and other species as well.
Doesn't that sound just yummy? How do you know that you're not getting that right now at Burger King or McDonald's or Chick-fil-A, huh? This is completely insane. The move launches a new era of meat production aimed at eliminating harm to animals and drastically reducing the environmental impacts of growing feed for animals and animal waste. Well, you can let them starve to death. Instead of all that, the land and all the water that's used to feed all these animals that are slaughtered, we can do it in a different way, said Josh Tetrick, co-founder and chief executive of Eat Just, which operates Good Meat. The company received approval from federal inspectors required to sell meat and poultry in the U.S. The action came months after the Food and Drug Administration deemed the products from both companies are safe to eat. How do they know what long-term effects people are going to experience by eating these lab-grown meats? Cultivated meat is grown in steel tanks using cells that come from a living animal, a fertilized egg, or a special bank of stored cells. In Upside case, it comes from a large sheet that are formed into shapes like chicken, cutlets, and sausages. Good Meat, which already sells cultivated meat in Singapore, the first country to allow it, turns masses of chicken cells into cutlets, nuggets, shredded meat, and sautés. It just sounds so appetizing, doesn't it? No special label will be required, of course. You can't make this shit up. Then they show you a jar of Hyman's mayonnaise. Ingredients derived from bioengineered source, right on the label. Huh? I'm glad I'm old. I'll attach the link. Let me know what you think. Pass it along, and thanks for listening.